All right, so by now, many of you have heard about that Friday lawsuit that hit the real estate industry. I heard from tons of people Friday as well as this weekend asking how is this going to affect you, your business, your team, that sort of thing. And today I was interviewed by Fox News, so I figured I might as well go ahead and address my social media friends and family and past clients and just go over exactly what I believe is going on and what kind of its impact is going to be on the industry as a whole, our team, and our local industry. So first of all, I wanted to explain that there are 1.5 million members of the National Association of Realtors. The Realtor Association is one of the largest lobbying groups in the country. So it is a huge seismic organization that really has the ear of industry and lobbyists. So for something to go down against the industry really shows you that something was out of alignment when it comes to the consumer. So regulators kind of dove in, and they have been for years. This has been going on, I think, for close to 6 years. They've been sort of investigating and talking to NAR and trying to reach an agreement. So it is not as if our industry has not had tons of lead time on this. In fact, my team has already kind of retooled and had a plan in place for exactly what took place. So let me explain how the industry works. This is going to give you a little bit of the inside eye into the underbelly of the industry. So the industry is largely driven by headcount. And so your big franchise companies that you know, I was gonna say know and love, but hopefully you don't love because you love us instead. But those big franchise companies, they operate off of monthly fees charged to each of their members. So this business is very interesting in that you eat what you kill from a profit standpoint. So you only make money when you sell a home. In addition, you also owe money to the company you work for, whether you sell or not. Think about like a Costco membership. Many of these companies have like a Costco membership monthly. Again, whether you actually transact in the company in their name at all. So you can sell no homes the entire year, which many agents do, and they pay their monthly dues to the company they work for. They also pay dues to the local association of realtors, which is the MLS. In our case, it's called Canopy. They also then pay dues to the National Association of Realtors, so 1.5 million members. So this lawsuit is going to put more of a hurdle and burden in the place of many of our members. So 1.5 million members, I would estimate that a few 100,000 of those members leave the business. And quite frankly, I am all here for it. We have many members, many of the 1.5 million that sell no homes every year. And it's baffling to me why those folks hang on, why they maybe sell a home or two, continue paying their dues. But from that model, the industry, as far as NAR, as far as Canopy, and as far as these franchise real estate companies, they're very upset by this ruling because they're losing that reoccurring annual and monthly dues revenue from their members. And there's nothing we can do about that. But that is something that does not affect us in any way. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually thrilled to be not having to do cross sales team-wide with folks that have very little knowledge or that sell 1 or 2 homes a year. They're oftentimes nightmares to work with because quite frankly, they do not know the contract. They've never been properly trained, and they just don't do the volume of business that's needed to operate at a high level or at top performing levels. So imagine going to your accountant and finding out that you are the second tax return he's ever filed for the year. I would be absolutely worried that we're missing out on deductions, that we're missing out on opportunities that we otherwise could have had with a more savvy accountant. That is what it is like working with many of the 1.5 million NAR members. So in that regard, I am not sad. I'm quite pleased that we're going to see an inevitable churn off of many of the low performing agents in the business. Just for reference too, there were 4.09 million resale homes sold in 2023 nationwide. 4 million, just over 4 million homes sold nationwide. Those are existing home sales, and 1.5 million realtors. You divide those numbers out, the average agent then for NAR is selling 2.7 homes per year. These are staggeringly low numbers, and it's even worse if you dig into the actual data because the bottom 50% barely scrape by selling 1 home a year. And then you've got your 50 to 80% that sell a couple of homes per year. And then you've got those folks that are in the top few percent, like my team is, that the average agent on our team will sell 20, 30, even 40 homes per year. Those are the agents you want to work with, not to plug our team or use this as an opportunity to plug top producing real estate teams. But I want to work with an agent that sells 30 or 40 homes a year, that does this a lot, that knows the nuances of the local market, the neighborhood, the national market, interest rate, contract changes. They know everything. I want that high producing expert that really can answer all of my questions and ensure that I'm getting the best outcome possible. So from that regard, again, I'm very, very happy with this this outcome. The last thing I wanted to touch on, I keep seeing this whole like the end of the automatic 6% commissions, or realtors no longer charging 6%. Let me explain this. There has never been a standard or automatic commission. I wish there were. just kidding. There has never been, and there will never be an automatic commission. Every single commission that we charge a seller is a bespoke marketing plan that is set based on the list price, how long the property is expected to be on the market, the expectations of the client, what they want to have done from a marketing perspective. All of this impacts the commission plan that we present for each of our clients. There has never, again, and will never be a standard commission or an automatic commission. That is the most ludicrous comment that I've seen in the news headlines lately is this, realtors unable to charge an automatic commission. Commission, again, in North Carolina has always been a negotiation between the buyer and the seller and their real estate agent as far as what they expect to be paid and how they will be paid. What will change, and this was eye-opening to me because we don't operate in states that have this, but states like New York, it is not common for you to enter into an agreement with your buyer's agent. So let me just explain to you why the regulators were very upset about this. So there are many states across the country where you can walk into an open house and you meet the agent hosting the open house, and you falsely assume that that person is your agent. And you can go all the way to the closing table on that property that she showed you at the open house and not know how she is getting paid, not know who she represents, and not know about any sort of kickbacks, incentives, or other things that this agent is receiving until the day you close on the property. This was eye-opening to me. It's something that, unfortunately, the bad apples in our industry have lobbied to keep in place for many, many years. Luckily, North Carolina is relatively forward-thinking in that we have always had a required fee disclosure and required agency disclosures at point of first substantial contact. So at that point where you as a consumer start telling us about your job relocation, your divorce, your whatever sort of material information you're sharing with us that may impact your ability to negotiate that sale or get the best price possible, we are required as North Carolina Realtors to pump the brakes, to ask you to stop, and to explain the agency options and opportunities that exist for you. As well as at time that we formalize our agency relationship, we not only disclose our fee, but who is paying us and at what time we're getting paid. So there's no surprises. So I really am very happy to be in operation in North Carolina. If I was in one of the, I believe it's close to 20 states that don't have this sort of process already in place, we've had it for over a decade, I would definitely be sweating a little bit because this is going to be a huge learning curve as far as buyer's agency, explaining this to the public. But luckily, our North Carolina customers are ready for it, and I think it should have existed long ago. It should be a nationwide mandate, which it soon will be. So that is the entire sort of lawsuit, and I don't think it's as scary or doom and gloom as the headlines might read. In fact, I think that it's going to increase our team's revenue overall. Again, we're going to see a decrease in the low producing agents. They're going to find that this is not worth keeping up with these regulatory changes and paperwork changes when you're selling a home or two per year. And I think that that does the consumer and the industry as a whole a major service. If you look at the rankings of trustworthy professions, real estate agents, no surprise, do not rank at the top. We're somewhere all around used car salespeople. And my hope is, maybe this is overly optimistic, but my hope is that the top agents, the shining stars, those that really treat this like a career and put their clients' interest first, that those agents continue to thrive and rise to the top.